GB News apologizes to Islamic Relief over unfounded allegations. This is from our Islamic Relief website. Um, the broadcaster GB News has apologized and paid substantial damages to Islamic Relief after airing unfounded allegations by an interviewee on its Camilla Tomini show program. Without scrutiny, the interviewee falsely alleged that, in effect, the charity had funded terrorist groups in the Middle East and it's part of a greater agenda promoting extremism and radicalization. In a statement made today at the Royal Court of Justice in London, the court heard that the allegations in question was and is completely untrue. GB News has removed the offending broadcast and associated publications from its website and social media platforms, undertaken not to repeat the false allegations, broadcast a full apology, and agreed to pay substantial damages and costs. You can read the rest of the article online on their website, as well as GB News themselves have a short statement on their website, as do 5 Pillars. Firstly, I'm not going to go into how GB News presents things for Muslims and things against that aren't for Muslims. Their bias that we can see whether they agree on it or not. But what I will say is, when someone makes such a statement, how can you not challenge it? If someone said the same thing about a Jewish charity and they just came on and said it, they would be challenged. Most likely they would be challenged to provide proof. Well, how did you come up with this claim? Substantiate your claim. Why wasn't this individual, as far as I'm aware, if he was, then tell me otherwise. Why wasn't this individual, the person who was interviewing, why didn't they say, okay, you say these claims, where did you get those claims from? Where did you prove? How did you arrive to these conclusions? As far as I'm aware, this was not done. Why wasn't it done? Why did it have to result to things like this for it to be corrected? Also, no amount of money can rectify what's already been happening. The damage has already been done. So, all of this is almost like a bandage over an injury which needs more, because you let this be broadcast, and this apology, I don't know how it's been done. I've seen it on their website, on GB News website, a small statement on their page. I don't know if it's been broadcast, but it needs to be broadcast in their main show. Just like that statement was broadcast to their audience, this needs to be broadcast to make sure those who previously would have thought and listened to those claims and agreed and accepted them need to know that they are not true. And in future, with GB News or anybody else, they need to question guess whether it's about Muslims or anybody else. You can't just say things and things like this that could have huge consequences. You gotta question it. Where did you get it from? Who gave you the information? This individual wouldn't have had a clue. He wouldn't have been able to give a response. But no, because he wasn't questioned, we are here now, and we need to do better, particularly people who love to platform these type of individuals that say things like this and other things that are against Islam and Muslims or Muslim organizations. We can't stop platforming them because you love platforming them, but now you're going to have to question them. You're going to have to make sure what they say is actually true and not just made up, because otherwise you're going to keep getting things like this and you're going to have to keep giving money out and you're not going to like it. And the only time it seems like, I'm not going to say it's the case, but it seems like the only time these type of people, organizations and other people care is when money affects them. Because money has affected them, now they will notice. So hopefully going forward, there's more care taken into what guests they select and what the guests say, and questions are asked to guests when they make statements which could have huge consequences and could potentially be lied. So they are asked the questions to tell the audience and the people that I made this claim and here's my evidence for it. So later on, if it's untrue, we can go back, or if there's any disputes, you can go back to what they've said and where they've got the evidence from to make sure what they're saying is true and not just made up.